Thank you for coming. I am so happy you are here with me to the Ignite Teachers Toolbox. My name is Dr. Reyna, and I am here because I am passionate about engaging children today for better minds tomorrow. So we all know what is that every student has to have to be successful. You as educators are more capable and know more than anybody. But we're not going to talk about that today. Okay, we're going to talk about enhancing your message and improving understanding with the proper use of visual aids. We're also going to be talking about making every virtual classroom interactive, compelling, and productive. We all know what student engagement is. You, more than anybody, knows what student engagement is. I don't need to tell you that it refers to the degree of attention, curiosity, and interest, optimism, and passion that students show when they are learning, and they're learning what you are teaching, right? So, but we're not going to talk about that either. We know that there are 5 levels of engagement: authentic, virtual, compliance, patriotism, and rebellion. There are also 3 categories to determine the engagement of your classroom. So you have an engaged classroom, a compliant classroom, or an off-track classroom. What do we want? We all want an engaged classroom, right? Raise your hand if you want an engaged classroom. Yay. Right. So how do we move students towards authentic engagement in this new long-distance learning? How do we increase student achievement and student engagement? And I have here the typical student who has an optimal learning setting. That's not all your students. A lot of your students have 3, 4 siblings in one room. They have one computer for all 5. They have multiple challenges. But we're going to focus on the one that has optimal learning setting. And what do we see? That even this student is not completely engaged. We see her right there. We see the teacher, and we see our student right there as well. Our teacher is looking at, is doing everything, is teaching everything, is pouring her heart out, and still there's no engagement. This is how a classroom should look like. When everybody is engaged, everybody is happy, everybody is participating. That's all of you participating right now. High fives. But how does a teacher prepare his or her classroom for learning? That's the question that every teacher is asking, and that's why we're here. Okay? So we know that communication is essential for the success of our students. Communication with the principal, communication with the district, communication with the parents, communication with the students. But communication has just evolved. Now communication is 2.0. Instead of communicating the usual way, now our students have to hear, have to see, have to interact, and you have to receive a different sort of feedback in order to know if your students are learning or not. So communication has evolved, and we have to evolve with that communication as well. Okay, so how are we going to do that? How are we going to get our kids engaged? And how are we going to have and make sure that they are ready for learning when they are not coming into our building? Okay, there's 3 ways. 1, it's by breathing. 2, it's by moving. And 3rd, it's by visual aids. So we're going to start with our first exercise, and that's with focus music. Okay? So I'm going to take you to this exercise, and I want you to participate all out. I want you to participate because that's the only way that you're going to see if this exercise is going to work for you and for your students. Okay? So the sound, hopefully the sound will work. If not, okay, we're going to start by teaching your students to breathe. Okay? And not that they do not know how to breathe. They breathe, but they need oxygen. The more oxygen that they get in, the more oxygen that goes into their brain. And studies have shown that the more oxygen they have in their brain, their cognitive functions develop better, and they are able to focus more on their learning. So the breathing that we're going to show them is we're gonna show them to breathe in for 4, and then out for 4. So they're gonna breathe in, only air in for 4. So they're through their nose, go out, and it's the 4. In, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out, 1, 2, 3, 4. In, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out, 1, 2, 3, 4. In, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, once, breathe again. Raise your hands up. Okay, raise your hands. time to run in place. And you go. And you're running in place. And you don't. Okay, so get up, get up, get up. This is running in place. Okay, so then we put on the next music. And they know this one is stretch. So they're stretch to the right, stretch to the right. Okay, so I said, okay, the other one is to do sit-ups. So then you get them up and they do sit-ups because you don't want them sitting down and falling asleep on you. So you set up your alarm, 35 minutes, 20 minutes. One day would be 20 minutes. Another day you can set it up for 30 minutes. Another day you can set it up for 45. Another day you can set it up for 10 or however minutes you want, right? And so then you do like finger snapping, something to get your kids moving. You do hula hoop. You do the hula hoop, even with no hula hoop, right? You said, hey, let's do the hula hoop. So whatever movement you want to incorporate with whatever music you want to put in. I just put some samples in here of music that you can use, but you can use any music that you want. And so you set up your alarms. Here are like the different exercises that your kids can do. Like I said, they can do that. They can reach their toes. They can run in place. They can clap. They can snap. Again, they can run. They can dance. You can make them do whatever kind of music whatever kind of movement you want them to do. Okay, so I hope you participate. I'm going to ask you to stand up. And I'm going to ask you to put one foot in front of the other. And we're going to do 10 with one leg. Okay, we're going to run in place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, switch legs. And we're going to do the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10. Okay, good. Is your brain awake? Not only is your brain awake, now you are breathing deep, right? So when you go back to your chair, you go back to sit down, you go back to learn, you are breathing. And what's happening when you're breathing? When you are breathing, you are getting all this oxygen into your brain. So your students are now more focused. Okay, so here we have the music and the sound again, ideas for movement in the classroom. And so why do we decide to do interactive music, you ask, right? This is the results that you get. So when you are doing the breaks in interactive music, you see your students move, you see their cameras on. Why? Because a lot of our students do not want to show their place. They do not want to show that they have 3 siblings running all over them. But when you are encouraging them to show their moves, they're going to have their camera on. You see right there, there's a student that has, like right here, you can see this student has someone sitting right there, like looking at the classroom. But the student is like happy to have his camera on and it's working with you and it's moving. The other one, it's over there dancing. The other one has his whole family working with him. Why? Because it's interactive. They want to participate. And now the whole family or their other siblings are part of the learning experience. So it's becoming a fun learning experience for them. It's no longer a threaded day. Oh my God, I have to go online learning. I don't know what I'm doing. Now it's an active and an interactive experience, and they're looking forward to the next alarm because they're paying attention and they're doing their stuff and they're getting that interruption that it's for fun, and then they're back and ready to learn again. So that's the results that we want. You already do all of that. You already require students to move when they respond to questions. We have stand-up desks so that students can learn while they're standing. You also ask students to write on their boards and show their answers. So you already do all of that. And this Ignite program in this course, the reason why we brought this course is to share what other teachers are doing to engage their students in long distance learning. And so you already do all of this. You already require your students to move when they answer a question. You already require them to answer questions on their board and show them up. That's them moving their fingers. You already ask them to show their work. And why? To pride themselves, right? And so you are master at giving feedback and supporting your students. So that's what you continue to do. Every time when you see them moving, hey, Carlos, you're doing wonderful. You're moving. Um, Give a shout out for Brianna, or give a shout out for so on, for Emma. So you are giving them the good feedback that they learn, and that improves the student learning. Okay. We talked about communication and how communication is now times two. Now we have to not only ask a question, we have to write a question, and we have to mimic the question. So now we are not only learning through visual and audible, we have to reach our students through the computer. Says, hey, right there, right? So communication has just multiplied. So we just have to be like extra. We were already extra before, and we have to be extra, extra. Okay. So visual aids, a lot of times we use emojis. We have the X, the Y's, the yes, the no's, right? But unfortunately, we are not able to send the emojis or send the paperwork to our students. Not all of our students have printers to print their stuff at home. So what do we do in those cases, right? So what we have decided to share with you is you can ask your student, go find something red in your house, right? And then they go and they say, oh, I found this book. This is a red book, right? Yeah, we can use that. Go find something green. So like, oh, okay, I have something green. So they have something green, they have something red. So then what is a traditional? Red is no, this is yes, right? So this yes, no, or yes, no, true, false. You can use things that they already have. And if you're asking them to go and find something in their house, they would be able to find it. If we would be able to send them emojis, then we will send them emojis. But not all of them have the capability. And then we can send them the thumbs up, thumbs down that they can use. If we are able to send it, we can send it. But if we are not able, we can easily ask them to find two things that they can share. And then you can see that all the reds is like, oh, no, that's a great answer. If you see a green, you go like, okay, that's, and if the answer is yes or positive, you see the green, you know that if there's a red, something's wrong. So that's easy for you to see. That's something that free. Okay. Another thing that we want to share is the use of background classroom, and this is more for the upper grades. So you can ask your groups when you make your groups, your students, student 1, for example, here, the green group is student 1, 12, and 4, and they are group green, group purple, and so on. You group them. So then when you put them together, they are participating, they're socializing, they're getting to know each other. They're not missing that social interaction that they are missing right now by not being able to engage with their peers. So they have groups that they know, oh, I'm going to go see my friend, as maybe someone that they would not traditionally not talk to in the regular class setting. Now they have the opportunity to get to know this person virtually, and they get to interact. And then the next week they interact with a different group and so on. But you are able to see who is part of each group by their colors, the color that they put in their background. And you can either assign a blank color, or they can build their own. Like in here, you see the teal is one group. They wrote something in the back. They made their own background. Another one made some blue. Others didn't put anything. You can also say something. So that's something that you can use to either ignite their creativity, or that will help you see. And that's, like I said, is for the upper grades, but that's something. Again, we said make your own visual aids if you are able to send it to your students. But if not, there are multiple kinds of ideas. This is only the beginning. And part of our Ignite program is that we will ignite your imagination. You have all the tools within you. You have received thousands of hours of professional development. You have gained all the knowledge. You have you are an excellent and you are a master of classroom engagement. And so our purpose here is simply to ignite all of this knowledge and that you share it with others so that others can have the same success that you are having. And how do we do that? Okay, we have created a Facebook group where teachers all over the state and all over the country are sharing their ideas, are sharing their successes, are sharing their failures so that you can learn. And if you are having a success or a failure, you can share it there for others to learn. Imagine how easy it would be to connect with like-minded people who are sharing new ideas, who are sharing free resources such as workshops, um, printables, and much, much more. So all of us working together to make this learning experience a fun one for our students. Not only that, but you also get to participate in our blog. So our blog allows you to network in many ways that are informal. You already receive support from your school, you already receive support from your district, but this you receive in this blog, you receive support and give support informally. So you share what your talents are and you get other people to share their talents with you as well, that any other way you wouldn't be able to connect. And sometimes you connect with a teacher that works right next to you and you didn't even know her. So, but now thanks to this long distance learning, we're able to communicate with a teacher next door and we're able to communicate with a teacher and thousands of miles away from us. Okay, so share your voice. I believe that ideas are born when you share your voice. And so if you don't share your voice, no one else is going to say what you have to say. So share it in the blog, share it for others to see. And that's the purpose of Ignite. The purpose of Ignite is to ignite all your passion, to ignite all the knowledge that you have in you, everything that you have learned all over these years. And if you need me to be there, if you need me to have a personal conversation with you to share ideas for me to share with other teachers, I am more than happy to do that. That's why this course is free, because it's just sharing ideas. I'm simply a link between all of you. So who is our team? Our team is me and several other teachers that you will get to meet as you participate in our Facebook group and in our blog. You'll be able to learn from them and they will be able to learn from you as well. Okay, here are some ideas of how to promote and get books for your school, for your library. There will be multiple resources available for you. Now that we are not doing paper books, you can do simple fundraising that you can get electronic books into your classroom so that you can share with your students. They can get physical books mailed directly to them so that you don't have to worry about that. So there will be multiple resources. There's some of my books. I write some other books as well. They are available for you if you want to check them out. I am here for you, and I thank you, and all of our kids thank you. My purpose in life, as I mentioned for this program, is to ignite everything that you already have. You are a passionate professional who has the life of our children in your hands, who has our future in your hands. Please let me know if there's any way in which I can support you, and I will. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope I was able to ignite your imagination, your creativity, and your superpower.